So the directions say to combine like terms, move all the terms with an x to the left side of the equation, move all the terms without an x to the right side of the equation, and solve for x. Now, this is not an absolute direction. Once you get comfortable with more than one term on either side of the equal sign, then you'll move what you want to where you need to. But for the first few problems, we're going to follow this rule and move everything with an x to the left side and everything without an x to the right side. So for example 1, that means that we need to move this x right here to the left side. Is this x positive or negative?
Positive.
So the opposite of being positive is negative. So that means we need to subtract x from both sides of the equation. So
why are we trying to get that? Why are we moving that x and not the other?
we're trying to put all the terms with x together and all the terms without x together. So moving all of them on one side, all the terms with x to one side, and all the terms without x to the other side. It doesn't matter. That's what I was just saying a couple minutes ago. It doesn't matter, but we're going to follow the rule for the first few examples. So on the right, I have x minus x, and what happens with that?
Cancels.
It cancels. On the left, I have 4x minus x, and that gives me what?
3x.
Bring down minus 6 equals, and there is the minus sign in front of the 9. Make sure you bring down that minus. So now this looks like a two-step equation that we worked on last week. We add 6 to both sides. The 6's cancel. We have 3x remaining on the left equals negative 9 plus 6, which is
-3.
and the last step is going to be
Divide by 3.
divide by 3.
X equals 1.
X equals
-1.
negative 1.
Did you get the same answer if you did it the last time?
Yep.
Yes.
And we're gonna do one of the problems further down. We'll start from the other side, from the opposite side, so you can see. All right. So example 2. We need to move what first? Specifically, which term?
The 6x.
Okay. What sign do you notice in front of the 6x?
Negative.
So we need to do what to both sides? Add 6x to both sides of the equation. The 6x cancels. On the left, I have 4. Put your like terms together. Negative 7x plus 6x.
13x.
No.
Negative 1x.
Negative 1x equals, what do we have on the right side?
1.
Why would you do 1x instead?
Add 4.
You have negative 7
minus 4.
Oh,
plus
negative
6.
That's why.
No, we have negative 7. We're starting on the left side of the 0. It's negative 7, and then we're moving back positive way 6. So we're landing at negative 1. So what are we going to move now?
4.
The 4. How do we move the 4?
Add 4 to both sides.
Minus
No.
4.
Subtract 4.
Negative
This
4.
4 is positive.
Oh, it's positive. No.
So we subtract 4 from both sides. What's remaining on the left-hand side? Negative 1x equals negative 3. And the last step?
Divide by negative 1.
Very good. So x equals 3. Bless you.
Thank you.
Example 3. What am I going to move first? Negative 6x. The opposite of that is positive 6x. My 6x cancel. Negative 4 plus 6 equals 2x. What else do I have remaining on the left-hand side? Minus 3. equals what? 9. What am I going to do to both sides?
Add 3.
Add 3. 3's cancel. 2x equals 12. And the last step?
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2.
X equals.
Nice. Now, the reason I move all the x terms to the left and all the whole numbers to the right is so that we have a statement x equals something. I think it bothers you guys a little bit when you see the number first equals the variable. That's the reason that I do that. I've been doing this for years, so I know if I have all the x terms on the left, I can read it x equals. But let's try example 4 with moving the terms with x to the right side. So that means we would, right, we would add 2n to both sides. So on the left, negative 2n plus 2n gives us 0. And what do I have remaining on the left-hand side?
41.
41 equals
4 plus 9. 2 plus 3.
2 plus 3n.
Wait, how would you get the 3? 2
Because there's an imaginary 1n here plus 2n.
Oh.
Now what am I going to do to both sides?
Subtract 2.
Subtract 2. My 2's cancel. 41 minus 2 equals
39.
39 equals
13.
3n.
N equals 13.
Yep, divide both sides by 3, and n equals 13. So, once you become more comfortable with the equations, you can move whatever you want to whatever side, as long as you end up with the variable on one side and the numbers on the other side.
So, if I just did it the opposite way, like I at the start, I
Like we've been doing,
yeah.
you would still get n equals 13.
Alright.
Alright, example 5. What do we need to do first? That D word.
Divide.
Distribute.
Distribute.
Alright, so I have to distribute what first?
The 6 and the 2 and
The 6 to the 2. So 6 times 2 is
12.
12
And then 6.
plus 6 times y.
Oh, yes.
6y equals 3 times 3, which is 9, minus 3y. Everybody good with what we have right now?
Yep.
Sorry.
Alright, what do you want to do first?
The 3 watt.
I did the 6y, so does it really matter which way you do it?
It does not. So I add 3y to both sides. They cancel on the right. On the left I have 12 plus,
8y.
how much? 9y. And that equals 9. Now what, Jack?
What would happen if you did the opposite, like minus 6y?
You can do it. Go ahead and do it.
If it's negative 3y minus 6y,
You would have
negative
12 plus 6y equals 9 minus 3y. So you would subtract 6y from both sides, right? So that means you have 12 equals 9. What's negative 3 minus 6?
Positive. Positive.
9, negative 9.
Negative 9y. You don't have to, but Jack's asking what's going to happen. So on the left, what's my next step?
Minus 12.
Okay, subtract 12. 9y equals what?
Negative 3.
Negative 3.
Divide by 9.
Divide by 9, and y equals
Negative 37.
negative 1 over 3.
What?
Now, on the right, what's my next step?
I got this.
Add 9.
No. Subtract 9. So on the left I have
3
equals,
negative 9y.
and what do I do to both
Divide
sides?
by negative 9.
Divide by negative 9.
Y
So y equals,
negative 1/3.
you get the same answer. What? You get the same answer no matter which side you start with.
Are those jellyfish?